Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to Finish the Story. I am your host, Keegan Ray. I'm joined here by my co-host, producer, and best friend, Mr. Trent Ludzak. How you doing?
Good. I feel lost not being on the same side of the table.
I thought about that as I was about to be like, you already know when we're on the same side of the table. But yeah, man, we got a guest episode today.
Special location.
Yeah, special location. Shout out to Helium Atlanta for letting us record in the green room. We got TJ on the pod from Beautiful Losers podcast.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Not much. I'm just glad to be here on the metaphorical other side of the table. It's it's a pretty big honor for me. Very exciting. So
you might have just did the episode title like right up front. The metaphorical other side of the table.
For good or for bad, that's how my brain works. It's like I'm always trying to speak in podcast episode titles. Every joke is just like, hopefully they'll name this one after
right
me.
At the camera for the clip.
Anxiety-induced diarrhea. Yeah, just something like that.
Yeah. I mean, is the new version of, like, what a good metal band name.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what that
the new
used to
version
be.
of band name is episode title. You're absolutely right.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm glad I wore shorts to record in the walk-in cooler. This is crazy.
Yeah, you guys can't see this wall, but they are just kegs, extra kegs.
Yeah.
And stalactites and shit.
Oh, dude, that was the worst. When I worked in a kitchen, that was my least favorite thing to do, was fucking stock the coolers.
Really?
Yeah, dude. In July, you're wearing a fucking coat to work like a jackass. You're like walking through the parking lot. People think you're on pills.
That's crazy because it's like if I work at a brewery, and if I'm having like I'm feeling sluggish, I'll just go in the keg cooler, the walk-in, anywhere where it's nice and chilly, and I'll just lift my shirt up and tweak my nipples a little bit, and I'm back, dude.
See, the walk-in wasn't bad. It was the freezer.
Yeah.
The freezer fucking sucks.
Freezer
dude.
is pretty cool.
And it's slippery, so you're fucking ice skating all over the place. You're like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, the beer coolers are crazy because they're so fucking big, especially like a production facility.
Yeah.
Is that where you're working?
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, the first brewery I worked at, it was a separate building.
Yo, who's knocking? Just one of the many perks of being here at the Helium. This is public. This is a public space, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I came in on y'all's podcast and
Yeah.
recorded
That
just
was
before
so
this.
funny.
Yeah,
The look of like, oh shit, dude, because she was looking down and looked up and saw microphones. It was like, oh, no.
We're just gonna pretend that was two rogue employees coming in here to 69.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so funny.
That's what I saw. That's what it looked like to me.
Oh, we can't blow each other in here. We got to go find somewhere else.
We got to do the other green room.
Oh man,
Probably just looking for a place to put their purse down or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
definitely. She had lunch. I think she was going for the fucking
Could have been.
refrigerator.
We should have just been like, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Go
It was
ahead.
just too late though. She had
Yeah,
already
it was-
bailed.
We
You
all
want to
kinda
talk? We
playing
got
along.
another
Yeah,
mic. We
sit
can
down,
plug it
dude.
in.
Well, yeah, we can plug it back in.
Yeah, one time we were outside of this hotel smoking, and it was like we just got off work. We're like smoking a blunt, and then this dude walks out of a door that we didn't realize we were standing next to a door for this whole time. And then this dude opens his door, and we're both just like Scooby Doo, like jumped up in the air, like what? And this dude freaks, like opens the door. He's like, what the fuck? But he was gonna smoke, so he ended up coming out and like, because he was like, holy shit, and then he's like, wait a minute. Smells like a good time out here.
You guys
Bunch
thought
stoners spooking each other.
like zoinks, man.
You guys are like deer.
Yeah. We thought that we were going to be in trouble. It just turned into like a Sublime concert. You guys want to smoke in the walk-in? Like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Man, let me tell you, that never works. I know that's like the urban legend of like smoking weed in the walk-in cooler, but that shit reeks.
Yeah.
It does not mask
Oh, it
the
doesn't
smell.
contain it at all.
Not even a little bit. And you almost have to do it once in your restaurant career to be
Sure.
like, just like one hitter, somebody walks in to get some calamari, they're like, Jesus Christ.
Hopefully scare some new host who's 17. Scare the shit out of him. Like, oh, I didn't know drug addicts worked here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
My mom warned me about the workplace.
A month later, they're in there hitting the fucking whipped cream.
Yeah.
We lost another one.
Like in Waiting with
Dude,
Melanakis.
when I saw that, I was dying laughing because every place I work at, you have to have the bag whipped cream.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you cannot have canisters in there.
Yeah, because you go to do it and it's like a old guy's
I mean, it's a
jizz
whippet
just
cracker. Like, you have an actual cracker. So
Yeah.
you just have a
Yeah.
bunch of fucking degenerates. You know?
That is-
sleeping.
Somebody's like, this night fucking sucks. And then you just see it sitting on a shelf like,
Yeah.
well,
I do feel like that is like a mark of if you're at a good restaurant.
mm-hmm.
Like date restaurant, you got to go somewhere with a can. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
you got to go somewhere fancy.
But also those guys at the Michelin star, they can get through that dinner shift
Yeah.
and still rock with it.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna.
They're doing it. You don't think there's a bunch of Bourdains back there in one of those fucking French laundry restaurants? Just like, give me a second.
No, I know.
Pick me up if I fall down, dude.
They don't need. I assume that at places like that, it's because they're doing harder drugs. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's
like
true.
thee are the people
sure.
that can afford to do cocaine
sure.
through their.
They call
For
whippets
sure.
gay. They're just like, yo.
Why would I
Why
want-
would I do child drugs? It's for children.
Yeah.
What are we in elementary school?
Yeah, let's do hand stuff too. You fucking.
Yeah, let's do hand stuff and sniff glue, you pussies. I'm fucking doing a hot rail in the employee bathroom.
just got a spoon on the burner?
I mean, dude, we used to watch our chef down in Savannah, and we'd be like, "Look at him, dude! I can't believe he's doing it." Like, he would be fucked up with him all night, and then it's like in the middle of rush. It was like watching somebody like paint a masterpiece. He's just over there, Adderall out of his mind, 7 shots deep, just conducting a symphony of noodles,
Fucking wizard
sweating too.
chugging potions and
I
concoctions
always
all night.
loved watching him go out and talk to tables. And you're like, I just watched that dude do a gator tail. And now he's out there toasting some doctor. You know,
Thank you
like
so much. Yeah.
it was like watching, like with people in theater, like begin scene. He would go over and he would put on his chef coat, and that was him getting into character. Like, no matter what drugs he was on, he would start buttoning up that chef coat, and he was getting ready.
That's incredible.
Because it was crazy, because you would go up to him and you'd be like, yo, Roberto, you got to go touch table like 32. If somebody went over like $200 or $300 on an entree, he's like, I would like to know. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know if somebody's spending money.
Yeah.
So then he would go out there and he's like, dude, he would go out there and like just tell jokes. And I mean, every time you'd be like, this table is a raging cunt. And then 2 minutes later, you walk out there and he's got his arm around you. You're like, what the fuck?
This
Dude?
fucking guy, dude.
Yeah, he would just openly hit on people's like girlfriends.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
how are you getting away with that? Like,
the power of
You've
drugs.
done exactly this rant before.
oh, I don't know, dude. We do a lot
I just remembered. I'm like, I've heard this before.
Deja vu.
I've
Man.
clipped this before. You motherfucker.
Shout out
You-
Roberto, dude.
Yeah.
That guy rips.
It was. I think it was when you said throw an arm over the shoulder. I was like, that sounds familiar.
It was crazy to watch, though. You're like, this guy truly is a mastermind.
Dang, dude.
I thought I turned that off.
That's all right.
All these fucking people want to ignore my call at 3 p.m. and call me back at 6.
Exactly. Yeah. At the end of the workday, they're like, I'll get him.
I can get him now. You hate to see it.
Hate
I'll
to see
get him
it.
on the fucking ride home. That is the worst.
So TJ, I feel like you've told me you work at a brewery, and I just forgot. But you work at what do you do at a brewery?
I do a little bit of everything, but mostly bartend and brew beer.
Hell yeah! So you're out there at fucking 5:30,
No, so we
shoveling grain.
Yeah, no, we do it a little bit different. A lot of the like wort is boiled and formulated off site and then loaded.
Oh fuck! Where do you work? Actually, don't dive.
I'm not
like
di-
that,
I'm not
'cause I'm
diving
about
out.
to say. I'm about to say some mean shit.
Yeah. So it just because of the space and it hasn't expanded quite enough to do everything all the time. And I've only been there like 7 months or something. It just makes more sense that way, I think. And then so like Tuesdays and Thursdays is usually when I'll like keg stuff off or but it's a lot of like tearing stuff out. So we don't, we're not doing distribution, so we don't have to have like hundreds of kegs pouring out of there or nothing. So we, being in a small, keeping it all in the building helps it to like, because if I was basically the only guy and our owner brewing the beer and we were like even minor distribution, we would be, I'd be there 6 days a week. And
That's what I was
pulling
doing,
my
and I lived there.
nut hair
I was
out.
about to say, didn't you live there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
is
we were-
obviously the purist in me is like I want to
Yeah.
make hop teas and put grains up my ass and boof them and
Yeah,
see how they
for
taste
sure.
on both ends and
You gotta. It's
see how they
due
mix with all the
diligence.
stuff. But I also like
Cicerone.
yeah.
I took a college course on that.
Yeah, dude. But I also like I started doing the
anal feel?
yeah. It's like the south mouth feel. It's important. Dude.
What's the sphincter feel like?
But it's like I also don't need a new thing to get obsessed with because
Yeah.
I got off the road doing like renovation stuff and was like I can't podcast consistently, I can't do comedy consistently, and so I kind of did it. I was like, just happened to be homies with the people there. They're like, we need people. I was like, all right, we'll see how it goes. And so I don't like. There's this dork in me that was like 24 once and was like, this IPA is okay, whatever. I did tons of that, and now I'm like, if it were up to me, if it was my place, I would just make German and Czech style lagers and be the biggest dork about it ever. But it's not, and I don't want to be.
And I would be there every day.
I was about to say,
Chugging.
you would have a long-haired gentleman reading drunkenly at the bar.
That's what I would be doing.
just writing sonatas
So do y'all
about this shit.
do you do bar service or do y'all do lines? Like when you're serving people, do people get in a line or do they come up and do bar service?
So we do it based on how the night's going to go. So if there's just a couple of us and it's going to be like barely even medium busy, if it's just like a night of the week or even a normal weekend and there's like 3 or 4 of us, then it's just kind of you can sit at the bar or you can come up to the middle or you can do whatever. We're not particularly anal about it. But sometimes we'll have a huge...
That's why the beer's suffering. You gotta get
I got to get way more anal.
gotta get the anus involved.
Yeah, but if we have like a big event, we'll separate everything out into a few lines so that it keeps some order to the chaos. And every once in a while, you'll get like a 22-year-old guy who's like, "Can I get 6 beers?" And you're like, "No,
Yeah, no.
you can get 2 and make your other dumbass friends walk up here when you go back to their spot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
watching midgets wrestle or whatever." So
You're really telling me where you work without telling me where you
yeah,
work.
dude, I've said it on our podcast a bunch of times, and they haven't got mad at me yet. So whatever.
I mean, the last. Are you doing dehydrated malt or are you doing liquid or wort?
Yeah, it's a liquid.
Okay, so at least you're doing that.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
there
if
was
it
this-
was just dust, that would be.
There was this
bummer.
place in Minnesota doing dehydrated malt extract.
Yo.
And they were just on like a trendy like town square area, so they were just crushing it.
Damn.
And they were just, and the craziest part of this whole story is that I understand why they were doing it that way because their head brewer had one arm.
He was the Def Leppard drummer of Brewmasters. They had to come in and build a special.
He's got a rig. He's using his feet.
Just Rumpelstiltskin
Crazy.
spinning line. That's
He's
awesome.
like on a bicycle.
But one of those lean back ones.
Yeah.
This is how I stir. It's like the grape ladies just in there stomping it with his feet. You're like, dude.
Tasting the beer with his ass. Normal stuff.
Yeah. No, it was horrible. It was. I don't think I ever finished a beer I got from there.
What year was this?
This was like 2017, 2018.
Yeah. And I like being a Midwesterner by birth. I'm biased, but I think they have some of the best beer in the country. And so
I mean,
to
New
do-
Glarus is the
Yeah,
best
New
brewery
Glarus.
in the U.S. easily.
pretty
Hands down. Keegan
Unbelievable.
quit drinking, but
Yeah. But I did like
You
the
did
blue
have
beers.
New Glarus.
I did like the cow beers.
yeah.
beers.
Cow beers were killer.
Dude, I'm gonna go to Wisconsin next month
No
for my family
You're
reunion.
gonna come back in a U-Haul.
Yeah, just full of New Glarus stuff.
I'm not kidding. I might get $1,000 worth of beer.
How do you bring it back? You just load up
in
your
my
car?
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get as much beer as I can physically fit in my car. After I take all the ladders out, and I'm gonna drive it back down here, and I'm gonna have a New Glarus little stockpile.
That would rule. And you could always take the ladder out. Do you have like one of those classic super
Well,
plastic
I don't-
baggage holders up on top?
Yeah, that's what I was seeing. Like
Ooh.
cases on top.
Because you could
No.
Tie it down like
go
a
in.
Christmas tree.
Here's the thing. I think I take all the ladders out of the back, all of my work equipment out of the back. I clear it out, put the seats down. Now I just have a big box I
I
can
bet you
fill.
could get $1,000 worth of beer in there.
Yeah.
For sure. especially craft beer. It's pretty high right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but New Glarus isn't too bad usually.
Well, the Midwest keeps it pretty chill.
I mean, what else are
It's
they?
wild you can only buy it there.
Yeah.
I feel like I bought it one time in
I mean, that's the fucking plot
Indianapolis or
of...
something.
That was illegal.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm lying. They're still not out of Wisconsin at all.
I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying people do that. That shit
Allegedly, I
happens-
bought some in Indianapolis.
that shit happens all the time.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't that the plot of Eastbound and Down? Isn't that what he's doing? Going over there and
Yeah,
getting the beer? Because
that's-
Coors?
Oh, not Eastbound and Down. You mean
Oh, yeah.
Dukes of
Sorry.
Hazzard? No.
No.
Fuck.
What is it, dude?
What
With
is-
Burt Reynolds?
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Thank God,
Wow,
yeah.
dude.
I'm stoned. I was naming the song.
I'm not even
That's in
stoned
it.
and I look at like this. I
Eastbound
should know
down,
about.
I'm loaded up in dude,
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah, they're just moving Coors through Alabama or something.
Yeah, they're getting it and moving it across state lines. Yeah, we could do a new one, New Glarus.
Yeah.
That mixed with like a Harold
Honestly,
Kumar.
fun sketch idea. Fun.
Not a bad
That
one.
is fun. What would you call it?
I don't care, honestly.
Yeah, you're right.
Somebody else can come up with it.
It's Smokey and the something.
You're like,
still.
I'm more of an idea guy myself.
See, I'm more
big
in this venture to get beer than anything.
Yeah,
so
Well, that's why the sketch is going to come across, because of the purity in your soul,
Yeah.
dude. Your heart is
because
pure.
that's all that I'm really here for. I'm just allowing you to monitor what I'm gonna do anyway.
Just put it on film. Get something out of it.
We used to do that with fireworks. When we go to Florida, we'd get a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of fireworks. My dad would smoke on the way back. It was awesome.
That is fun.
I was always a kid, like, nervous
Like,
as shit. Like,
Isn't this bad?
yeah, I definitely don't think you should be smoking.
Yeah.
We used to road trip to Michigan all the time. We were not getting on a plane if we didn't have to.
Yeah.
And one time I yelled at my dad because he was still smoking when we parked at the gas pump, and he went and blew his cherry and ash all right next to the gas pump and was like, "Shut up!" And I was like, "Yo, dude, that looked like lazy terrorism, dude. That looks crazy." He was just like sick.
That's crazy to double down.
We had
like
just
that.
been bitching at each other back and forth. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Fuck off." And I was like, "All right." He just went
Yeah.
inside and took a piss. At a
Yeah.
pilot, dude.
Oh, that's so fun.
That's a dad move. Like,
Just blowing up a pilot in Michigan.
Yeah, we were probably in fucking Ohio somewhere, so it didn't matter.
Wait, what part of the Midwest are you from?
I was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay. Not too far off. Because I used to do the fireworks thing too. Because Minnesota has stupid fireworks laws, but Wisconsin, it's all wide open. So we would drive over 3 hours over the border.
which I don't understand. It just makes you irresponsible with fireworks. Like, as
Yeah.
soon as you get the good ones, you're just a maniac.
Now you're in like some straight to DVD version of Final Destination, driving back from Alabama with fireworks and a dad smoking cigs and flicking butts into the back.
Just like, dude. And I couldn't imagine if one of those things went off in the car. Because my buddy would take them and he threw it in the ocean one time, one of those mortars,
Yeah.
and he just threw it in the ocean. And when it exploded, like when it's not up in the air, it's unbelievable. Like the
Yeah.
radio, I couldn't imagine a car, dude.
You ever have a drunk uncle accidentally put one of those in the tube upside down?
No, dude, but
That'll scare the fuck out of grandma.
Yeah. I have done some stupid things with mortars. One time we had a party at my parents' house. And they had like a separate garage, and so I lived there too long. I was trying to be a musician. And so I'd have people come over, and then they'd just hang around. And then it was like, somebody was like, "I have mortars." I was like, "All right." So we're kind of drunk, and we're shooting them up out of the tube, doing normal stuff. And then I was just like, "Charge!" And I threw one into the middle of my yard, and I ran towards it, and it blew up and shot sparks all around. Honestly, it's the most powerful I've ever felt. It was awesome. And then one time at a different party, I put one on top of another one in the tube, and it shot the one
That's
up
a
in,
fun game.
yeah, two for.
it shot one up in the air, and then it blew the tube, and then the other one just exploded on the porch, and everyone was running. And I was like, "My bad." And somebody was like, "Dude, you burnt my sweater." I was like, "Your sweater's ugly. Who cares?"
Yeah.
But mortars are fun.
Anytime you're apologizing during fireworks, you're having fun.
That's it.
You're having a good time.
Nobody will ever forget this
Part of the
night.
game.
Yeah.
One time, me and my friends, we got a mortar and we put it no tube upside down in a molehill,
Yo.
Oh my god.
And then we took like
It's just Caddyshack.
bro.
These little guys are not going to know what hit them or whatever.
We took like 4 packs of bottle rockets and put them all facing up with like fuses in towards the mortar because those
Christ.
mortars have 2 charges, the one to
Right.
launch them.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, so the launching charge is going to light all these bottle rockets.
It's great.
And we're like, as an adult, you look at it, you're like, there's no way this was going to work. But it did.
Yo.
That's
And we
awesome.
did not run far enough.
No, the fascination of that it actually worked was probably too strong. I'm just like,
Yeah.
holy, oh
'Cause
shit.
I think what happens is we started running, and then bottle rockets started whizzing past us.
Yeah. Roman candle fights. That's fun.
yeah.
The best.
The best.
I had some friends play battleships with canoes and mortars, where it was 2 guys on
So
2
good.
guys a boat, and one guy would be the gunner, and he'd hold it to his chest and point it at the other.
Yo, dude, if that
That's
malfunctions
so-
at all, you just die. Your sternums eat up.
You're on a boat with a teenager. You're
Oh my god, the
In the
worst
middle-
place to do that.
in the middle of a residential pond.
Yeah, dude, just disgusting with chemical runoff from like
Some guy standing at his sliding glass door and he's like, God damn it. Just watching.
Cheryl, call the ambulance.
to be young, and he takes another shot at tequila. That's awesome.
That is awesome. But like you
Battleship.
said, if it does
Yeah.
backfire, you are fucked.
Yeah, you're having a Viking funeral out of nowhere. Hell yeah.
And you're bringing your buddy Dan with you.
Yeah, we used to go to Destin, Florida on the 4th of July. And dude, at 10 o'clock at night, it was like a fucking war zone down there. Just every drunk idiots on the beach. Like you could just sit up like when we would stay like on a balcony and just watch the beach. It's like this is a nightmare. You're just watching people like fall over. You're watching mortars explode. You're like, oh my god.
You catch one rogue one that gets a little close to the 4th floor balcony. You're like, inside, everybody inside.
everybody
Let's
inside.
take 10 minutes inside.
Wait, you guys are still talking about fireworks. I thought you said war zone in Florida. I thought you were talking about shoot. I thought you pivoted.
Yeah. Not in Destin, I don't think.
No, definitely. But you know what? I don't know. Destin was a weird place because nobody's from there, and it's a lot of people from Louisiana. That was always when you're walking on the beach and you see raging Cajun flags. You're like, Jesus Christ, it's a fucking problem.
Across
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah, you like set up your blanket and you're like, hey, how are y'all doing? They start speaking that Cajun accent.
Yeah.
You're like, we're out of here.
gotta go,
As soon
dude.
as they hit the water, we're moving.
Hard to find a spot down there.
Dude, the worst is when you pay money and get like your chairs, and then you're just next to the worst people. You're like, God damn it, we paid for this.
Dude, never pay money for chairs. That's my motto.
Never.
Yeah, I think I decided when we went down the first beach trip we took, I was like, we are not paying for chairs, people. We are fucking white trash. Set up our own.
Got my own chair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pick where I want it to be.
that's all you need.
That's right.
Because the chair, ultimately, you're limited by the chair. You can't go up the beach with that chair.
The best part about it though is not having to set it up or break it down. That is, I think, the appeal.
The worst part
Some
is
hot
being
19-year-old guy
Being-
comes up there and a mask cucks
Get
you in
this
front of your
boy, yeah.
girlfriend. He's just ripped, setting it up. You're like, okay, all right, enough. Get it, move along.
We get it. You're strong and
Yeah, we
young.
get it. You're tan,
Yeah.
young. Fuck you, dude.
And the worst part is realizing halfway through the fireworks that somebody peed in this chair. Oh man, this is wet. Oh no, it smells like a dog pee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably was.
somebody paid for a chair for their dog.
Oh, for sure.
That
How
happens.
often? That has to happen somewhere in Florida every single day.
Every day. Just
I
some-
gotta get I need one of those wagons. I saw people with the wagons. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a pro move.
Yeah, I was like lugging 30 fucking bags, and some lady just buzzed by me with a wagon. I was
Excuse
like,
me.
God damn, dude, she had off-road tires. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Those wagons
Yeah.
rule. Put a
Heavy duty
little,
wagon.
a couple coolers, a bunch of hot dogs in them.
You got a hot dog roller.
Yeah,
Nah,
dude.
you should just get like a hand cart, like one of those. Just get a dolly. Show up to the beach.
Everyone's like, yeah, who's the Amazon delivery guys here? I guess.
Dude, speaking of hot dog roller, a friend of mine does sound for bands, and he posted his story, and he was at the soundboard, and he just like looked over, and he had a hot dog roller. I was like,
yeah, dude.
I was like, hell yeah,
That's
dude.
incredible.
Soundboard hot dogs are awesome.
Dude,
just at a show, and you're like, it smells like fucking hot dogs in here. He's just housing. Got your own relish.
All of a sudden, I'm feeling hella patriotic. Dude. Let's have a little. Let's turn every soundboard into a small QT. That
Start a
rules.
side hustle, dude, selling them out of the
Oh,
back of the
You
soundboard.
guys
That's-
need dogs?
That would be funny.
Your drunk ass definitely needs a dog.
Tap a guy on the shoulder.
The band's looking out, a line is forming in the middle of the crowd. They're like, what the fuck?
What's going on? It's not a
This
circle
dude
pit.
slinging drugs? No, glizzies.
Doggies. That's awesome.
Do it like the nitrous line. You're like, 2 for 20.
Just wait for people to get desperate to pay $10 for a hot dog.
You could do it in a concert. for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, we saw a guy in Charleston that it was like one of the 3-night runs for Humphreys. He like posted up outside the venue, and every night he had a line that I was like, this dude is just untaxable.
Yeah.
Free.
Ungovernable. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
This guy's free.
Living off
this-
the grid.
I mean, you could see people coming out of the show and seeing him and being like, oh, I'm saved. Like, I was going down, dude.
The hot dog cleric is here, dude.
Yeah.
We got to get meat missiles in us.
Dude, our buddy disappeared from the show, and it was the second night. I was like, I would bet my life savings Kevin's out there getting a hot dog right now.
He walked out the door and then got picked up by the smell like a cartoon. It just floated to the dogs.
Yeah.
Bro, the dogs definitely got many people into social space when it was happening.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, just
R.I.P.
Couple of beers.
a bunch of bros cooking dogs out in front of a comedy show.
Just
Yeah.
tan shirts on. It's the same guy from the chairs. Get the fuck out of here.
Now you got my fucking girlfriend eating a phallic ass lunch.
Putting dogs
What
in my
the fuck
lady's
is going
mouth.
on, dude? Get out of here. Yeah, I feel fucking so nasty on the beach, too.
Yeah.
When you're on the beach, you're sweating, you smell like shit, you're fucking sandy, you're chafing. Nothing sexy about a daytime beach trip.
No.
It's like you're discovering all the reasons I don't like the beach.
Right
You know
now.
what? I
in
am,
real
because
time.
I
Well,
went.
it's like the last 2 weeks he's brought up something about like the beach kind of sucks, man. And I'm like, yeah.
This was
I've
my
been
first time
saying
going
it.
sober. So it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
revelations just smacking me in the face of like, whoa, this sucks. Without 7 beers, this is not great.
Yeah.
That's why I drink 7 beers at the beach.
Yeah, I
make it
might have to
bearable.
make an amends on that.
Just your beach.
Yeah, just beach, just completely, just get outrageous.
Look out, Keegan's beach drunk.
My girls are just every time we go to the beach, they're like, "Jeez."
You're planning quarterly trips.
Yeah. Let's go to the beach this weekend. Like,
I
we
have my-
can't go every weekend.
I have my own karaoke machine on the beach. And I did it my way.
The karaoke machine fits perfectly in the off-road cart.
They're like, nobody buried him. He buried himself.
Yeah. That rules. Yeah, I much prefer, like, in Amelia Island is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to let out the secret. I'm sure some people know. But there's this bar, I forgot what it's called, like Sharky's or some bullshit, that's right on the beach. So you can sit, first of all, their chairs, the bar stools, are little swings. They're hang from the
Those are always
ceiling.
nice.
That rules.
So you can get deep in the seat.
Yeah.
That's what I call getting a little bit drunk at the beach, getting deep in the seat. But you can see the water. And that's perfect. I'm like, I could go out to the beach for a little while before we start drinking. And like if it's sort of morning time before it gets a million degrees and like whatever, throw a football around, eat some dogs, whatever's American as hell, and get your toesies in the water. That's all fun. But then let's go back to home base.
Yeah, let's hit the pool or something.
Something with rum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like when the sand is hot either. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because then it's like, now what? I got to wear my flip-flops on the beach? Now I'm just slinging sand in the crack of my ass.
Yeah, like a catapult.
I'm carrying some fucking cooler book bag. I'm like, this fucking
Man,
sucks.
you taught me another reason to hate the beach today. That's
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah.
I never thought about that a flip-flop really is just a small catapult for sand
Oh, yeah, dude.
aimed at your asshole.
It really is. Right at the crack of your ass.
Never
It's
thought
the
about it.
worst.
It explains so much, actually. It's crazy. Scoop. Yeah, that's
And then
pretty
it's
cool.
like when you get down there, I had the sudden realization of like, oh, I'm the fucking dad. So now I'm responsible for
Yeah.
fucking everything. I got to
Yeah.
set up the umbrella. I'm out there reading instructions. I'm like, this fuck.
reading instructions.
Dude, it was like I had to assemble this
pull it
thing.
apart and
No,
then
I
put
had to
the thing on
assemble
it.
the thing on the bottom, and then I had to pull this flap out, and I had to like you had to screw it in and then weight it down. I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck.
All
If
this
this thing
stuff.
flew away, I would just pretend like it wasn't mine. As soon as it flew away and hit somebody, I'd be like, we didn't have an umbrella.
What
That's
umbrella?
crazy.
We're just going to be the reddest family in this beach.
just tell me when your skin starts to hurt, and we'll go inside.
Who else is blistering? Show of hands.
Yeah, the beach is it's a love-hate thing. Dude, a beach at night though is
Awesome.
so good. For whatever reason, no matter what, the sand is always wetter and colder and more I mean, I know why it's colder, but it's always like feels more packed down even at the top, even at the like way away from the water, it feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like more condensed and it's less like running in a dream, you know? You can actually walk in normal-ish. Beach at night is magic,
Yeah.
especially
Flashlight, see some crabs.
see a crab or
I've
two.
don't know if I've ever like hung out at the beach at night.
Oh, that's
Never.
the best. Yeah, because the stars are fucking awesome out there.
Yeah,
And it's just you have nothing to obstruct it, so you just get to sit out there,
dude.
listen to the ocean. The only thing that you gotta worry about is if you're in like a tourist town, is like a group of like 10 teenagers kick your ass.
Just coming up and calling you gay because you
yeah.
got last year's shorts on or whatever,
Yeah,
and you're like,
you're like,
whoa, man, I don't
Look
know.
at this.
I'm like, I'm a dad. I don't give a fuck about this.
Dude.
I'm just trying to smoke this joint on the beach.
Yeah, please don't do this.
Wait till you see me pull out this pocket dog and show you how a real guy gets down, dude.
They're beating your ass. They gotta rob you. They're like, this fucking weirdo's got a hot dog in his pocket.
This guy's got like 6 hot dogs. All these cargo short pockets are full of hot dogs.
This dude's just carrying soggy hot dogs.
I wrapped them in tinfoil, just bleeding. Like, come on, give me some credit. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the mountains.
I love the
Mountains are fun.
The mountains rule all the time,
Yeah.
Especially-
Mountains are nice.
especially when it is hot as shit. You go up to like Sky Valley or somewhere up in North Carolina, and it's 10 degrees cooler.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually have like a nice 55-degree morning, drink the hottest coffee,
Ooh, it's the best.
6 of them.
I mean, and then in the winter you get good snow, so you can like go
Yeah.
snowboarding or do whatever. Of
course.
there's shit to do.
People do that. Hell yeah.
You've never.
I haven't snowboarded since I was like 15.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, same. Since I was like a kid.
I'm realizing right now that it feels weird to say I've snowboarded before because it's like a
'Cause
guy
it's
who
been so long.
fell down once on a skateboard and was like, yeah, I used to shred, dude, like the ultimate poser. I like went down the blue a couple of times and was like, I'm so sick
I
of
was
this.
scared as shit when I went down the blue. I was like, holy shit.
My
dude.
friends kept trying to get me to go down the black road. I was like, no, dude, so afraid. Yeah.
That shit is scary though. When you start going way fast and you realize that
Yeah.
you are not as skilled as you thought you were.
I'm not equipped to stop
Yeah,
or
you're like,
slow
dude,
down.
I can't remember shit they told me at ski
No.
school.
But there's always an easy way to stop, which is
Potato,
Yeah.
pizza,
Eat
french
shit.
fries, and fuck.
You can always just eat shit.
can
That
eat
is
shit
always
out
on the
immediately.
table.
you just look around and you go, there's no 11-year-old little girl near me at all, and then you just like tuck and roll or
The
go like,
worst-
I mean, yeah, just lay down.
yeah, lay
Just
down.
lay flat, and then hope you don't run into a rock.
I did skateboard enough to where it was like, I was fine standing like this, one foot in front of the other. So that wasn't weird at all. But it was like, oh, I got to dig this edge in. So it was like, I never got past the point where I was like in any sort of flow. It was always like, I'm conscious about everything I'm supposed to do. And then, you know, like every once in a while you're hungover backing out of your driveway or you're trying to parallel park and you're like, oh, I turned it the wrong way. Or being hungover and trying to back a trailer in. And you go this way, and you're supposed to go this way, and you're like, ah. So then by the time you're like, oh, yeah, I remember what I was supposed to do, you're just up to your ass in snow, and like already fell down. That was what happened a lot when I was 15.
Yeah.
I never snowboarded, but when you ski and you bust your ass, they call it a yard sale. When
Yeah.
you lose
Yeah.
everything,
Everything.
dude. That sucks.
Fine.
When you fucking lose your poles and the one ski is going down the slope.
Yeah. Somehow you lose a sock. You're like, what the fuck?
The boot's not even off.
This isn't even my story, but I did. I mean, this is my story. Whatever. I didn't prepare this, but it just came to my mind. So one time, the coolest trip I ever did, I was like 19, going on 20, I think. I went to Europe, played drums for like a Christian camp, so I got to raise all this money to go. I didn't have to pay for anything, which was cool. But then after that was in Germany. Then we go to Switzerland and we sledded the Alps. You can sled the Alps.
Sled
So
the Alps?
they have like
What?
they have normal ski and fucking snowboard
sounds so
hill,
fun.
That sounds so rad.
regular stuff. So this is a old school. It looks like it was built by a Dutch kid. It's like the metal rails and wooden on the bottom.
That's awesome.
And at certain times, you're going around hairpin turns doing like 35 miles an hour. So one time, it's me and two other homies are in front of me, and we're trying to like pass each other when we can, and like Mario Kart or what was the
Road rash.
road rash?
Holy shit!
fuck.
I forgot about road.
Where you're
rash.
hitting
with the
chains.
chains.
It's so good.
God, that game was great.
So then I catch like a ton of speed coming out of a turn, and I'm in the back of the pack at this point. We're going back and forth, and I'm hauling ass, and I'm about to slam into the back because my homie like got freaked out. I mean, there's times where you're going around a turn and you're looking over the side of a pretty nasty precipice, like, yo, am I gonna die in the coolest way ever today? And at one point, we also get onto the snowboard slope, and there's all these Swiss people being like, "No, there, over there," and we're like, "Oh, my bad, dog." Over there. Even though everybody in Interlaken, Switzerland, like our fondue waiter, he had cow print pants on, and he had more of an American accent than I did. It was crazy. And he was like, "Can I see your ID?" And I went, "What?" And he was like, "Nah, I'm just kidding." And I was like, "What the fuck's going on? Well, I'm at a Chuck E. Cheese right now about to eat melted cheese."
Bro, I'm still stuck on fondue waiter.
Well, in Switzerland, like in these touristy towns in Switzerland, it's like Swiss fondue restaurants. Yeah. So you're gathering around like it's hibachi. You're like with strangers and shit. And we're all like 19-year-old
like
kids.
A guy doing tricks.
Yeah, we're drinking beers the whole time we're in Europe.
Yeah.
And then this one guy's like, "Can I see your ID?" And again, no accent. He wasn't like, "Can I see your ID?" He was just normal, and I was like thrown off, and then he's like,
go,
"Nah, I got you." Yeah, your papers, please.
Papers, please.
But so I come up on my homie, and it feels like I'm doing 40 on a 60-year-old sled, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I kind of veer off and go off into this deep, soft embankment of snow, and they all stop to be like, "Oh shit!" And I had lost a glove when I went to catch myself, so we're 2/3 of the way down, and I have to go down the rest of the Alps with my hand like Napoleon tucked into my teeth. By the time we got, also I was like a dumbass kid who played drums, so I was like, I'm gonna wear normal dress boots and jeans and then a pea coat. So I was fine until I ate shit into the snow, and then I was wet.
Now you're just in soaking wet denim.
Wet pea coat, and so I was a dumb kid, but it was super fun. And the Alps are majestic.
Yeah, I bet.
I want to go up there
That's
and
a fun
play out
way to see him.
Just hit
It's a fun way to see him on a sled.
You see him, it makes you get yodeling.
Yeah, you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I would get up to the top of this motherfucker and just let out. What if you got up to the top of a big ass mountain and you accidentally hit a Muzz yodel though? You were like, and they're like, oh no, wrong one. Just start an avalanche because of overpowering the mountain with Islam.
I was gonna say an avalanche of Islam.
I don't know. I was gonna try to think of a wordplay, but
Guys, we're gonna get a Saudi sponsorship talking this way.
Hey,
An avalanche of Islam.
they're like, well,
tonight.
before we get into live golf, we've got 3 guys who are gonna go to the top of the Matterhorn, and Allah, 3 white radical guys.
3 white radical bros embracing Islam.
Who are down for Muhammad.
Radical in both ways, dude.
Everybody's like, what paycheck? Keegan and Trent get.
Keegan and Trent got that oil money.
You got the
Where's
oil
that
money?
fucking guitar outfit?
Just a gold-plated, what do you call it, turban?
I'm holding the tiger. Hello, guitar.
You have Muslim accent now for no reason, speaking perfect Arabic. That would rule. Beard's just a little bit longer.
Just slapping women all over the place.
Saying horrible stuff about ladies. You hate to see it. You hate to see what money does to a guy. Oil money.
Yeah. I mean, I totally get it, though. People were faulting those golfers. You're like, dude, I don't give a fuck. You're like, if you saw all these zeros, I don't give a shit how they treat their
Yeah.
wives.
It's easy to say no thank you when it's never being presented to you.
That's what I mean. You're like, dude, they gave me $200 million.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I don't, our values don't match
Yeah,
up.
it's like,
Yeah.
but what about the tradition and the stuff? It's like, dude, if you were so in love with your wife and then Sydney Sweeney presented her whole asshole to you and was just like, kiss it, you're gonna.
And it's like, dude, they're giving you money that you're like, my kids' kids are going to be good.
Yeah.
You know, this
Yeah.
is like generational,
Yeah. Like,
written probably on a napkin. you
like
know?
my grandchildren are going to kill a prostitute in a car and then get away with it. Like, that's
Or what was the South Carolina family that was the
Oh, yeah.
craziest story ever? The
Murdochs?
Murdaws or
Yeah,
Murdochs?
whatever their name was.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. When you see that though, you're like, yeah, there's families like that all over the South.
What's hilarious about that is doing so much corruption that it comes back, and you're just like, you don't even know how to do it right. You paid the wrong guy to almost kill you with a gun, and then they were like, yeah, we found all this stuff where you're like covering up for your kid, killing a lady on a boat or whatever.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy stuff, dude. I don't like that kind of stuff.
It's not very cool, I would say.
Brave take,
It's
dude.
not chill.
Not chill
yeah,
at
it's
all.
a brave day.
That's
It's
brave.
not chilled to cover
But-
up crimes.
But it's fun.
I mean,
It's fun to talk about on a podcast for sure.
It was probably fun on that boat until
Yeah.
you know,
Until it
good
was
time.
real
Until
not
it wasn't.
fun. Yeah.
Until that fucking mortar goes the back way, that Roman candle explodes into your chest.
Yeah. And then you're just like,
You're like, dude, somebody get my cell phone. We gotta call my dad. I'm in so much trouble.
that's the best part too. Is aren't they? He's like a famous lawyer for a long time, and then a judge or something,
Yeah.
right? The patriarch of that family, and then you're like, you don't even know how to cover up crimes, though.
No.
That's crazy.
You'd think being on the inside would give you some good insight.
I think people just get freaked out.
Oh, I was about to say, I
Just
think
do
people really
stupid
underestimate like the freak out level of, you know, just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Oh shit!
It's like that chick in Boston, that Karen Reed trial or whatever that was.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, people are like, well, I don't know why they would call the phone. I'm like, first off, it was a police officer's funeral that day, so they are hammered. They're departed hammered.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
fucked up. This is Boston, dude.
Yeah,
They're,
dude.
they're
Irish
Keegan
wake.
Beach drunk.
Yeah, they're hollow moon drunk, baby.
Hollow Moon. Yes. I don't know what the reference is specifically, but I like
They're
it.
getting rowdy.
get
I
it.
was like,
You get
you
it.
have to keep that in mind.
I mean, I know about the Hollow Moon.
Yeah, it's so drunk that you believe in the hollow moon.
Hey.
Yeah, you got to bring it up
We've
with
all
your Uber
been there.
driver.
There could be some pockets, dude. There could be pockets in there. I'm not saying it's hollow like a basketball. That's retarded. But there could be pockets.
They said it's made of cheese, right?
I don't know what
It's
it is anymore.
Swiss.
Yeah.
You think-
I got sucked in on a video the other day that was like, the moon is perfectly round. I was like, I was
think
like,
so.
you're right. It was the night of a full moon. I was like, dude, they're killing me with the algorithm.
They're getting me
They
so-
know I was outside looking at the moon. That's crazy.
Whoa, your phone. You guys know who Randall Carlson is? He's like one of those
sounds familiar.
younger Dryas Impact
Oh, yes,
guys,
yes,
and he
yes,
lives
yes.
here.
Oh, really?
I've tried once on our podcast to be like, I'll write your theme song for your podcast and record it and make it for you if you'll come be on our podcast. And he didn't see it, I don't think. But he's a cool guy, big guy. He's also like bearded up, but he's white. He's all white. He's like 65.
That's awesome.
And
He's an old guy.
he was on Jesse Michaels' podcast talking about how the moon is weird. And I was like, damn, dude, I'm out here defending you. You can't have episodes entitled "The Moon Doesn't Make Sense" or whatever. Fuck. But then they talked about it, and I was like, I'm so in. This rules.
Yeah, dude. I'm so in. It's just fun, too. You're like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Oh yeah, that guy.
You got rules.
Yeah, I know exactly. When you said the gray hair, I was like, dude.
When he just starts talking about pyramids and he's talking about lost ancient technologies.
I'm in.
It's
as
so
soon as
good.
you start talking about lost tech and,
Yeah.
and civilizations
It's the
of
best
old,
stuff.
I'm like, Tartaria.
Nikola Tesla. Tartaria's fun.
Ooh, Tesla's good too.
Tesla's fun.
Like, they fucking killed him.
Or that, yeah. I think he was like 80, but so it wasn't a tough mark. But
Not at all.
But
the Mud Flood is a good one.
Mudflood.
The
Thomas
Mudflood.
Townsend Brown. You guys know about him? Maybe the inspiration for Emmett Brown, Doc Brown, from Back to the Future. Obviously, Spielberg's seems to be pretty hip to shit because he's got Jacques Vallée's representation in the thing.
Yeah.
Some of those crates they take out, I think they have like Skunk Works and Northrop Grumman on the boxes or something, or one of those like
One of those.
one of those guys, one of those cool guys that we love.
Yeah. Pay us.
Please don't come to my house.
I live right around the corner. I got to be real careful.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, and so he's executive producing and Zemeckis directed. I don't know if Zemeckis was hip to it, but Emmett ends with TT. I was listening to Jesse Michaels explain all this. So this is not for me, dude. He's way smarter than me. But it's like they used to call Thomas Townsend Brown Doc Brown, and he was supposedly on to this like gravitational electromagnetism propulsion shit in like the 30s.
Whoa.
But he was also probably deeply embedded with the intelligence stuff. So it's like, oh, fuck. But he seems like a smart guy.
That's so cool. It's like based on a real person. I got into the Titanic.
Allegedly.
Lately. The
Ooh,
Titanic
that one.
conspiracies.
The Titanic is fun because it's like the idea was
that.
to make that was right around the time where they're making the U.S. Treasury, right? And they're trying to consolidate it all into central power. And all these dudes who were a part of banks
think
we've
it was
never
the
heard
Fed- it
of,
was-
or the Fed,
It was,
sorry.
Yeah, it was centralized banking.
Yes, and all these
over my dead body.
all these
how
rich,
about that?
yeah. How does the bottom of the Atlantic sound, actually?
We're going to make it cold, too.
Yeah.
But it's like the
We're gonna
boat
make it
was
suck
the whole time. The boat's full of all these like
And then we're gonna
rich
make a-
banker guys who were
Yeah.
like, "No, we don't want to do that," and they were like, "Well, too bad. That's just too damn bad."
Yeah. It's funny. We have so much money. You don't get to tell us. We get to go down to Jekyll Island and on a whim make a decision that ripples through time.
You guys have medium banker money. We have all the
Yeah, and then
banker
they're
money.
sitting out on a boat, just like watching it.
Well, and the other crazy thing, do you know about the lady? I forgot her name, but so obviously the Titanic had
Rose.
3. No. I was gonna say, shit. I forgot what the homegirl
So
in
dumb.
the movie is called.
If you had made up a last name and then just committed hard, I bet you could have gotten into a
You'd
group.
have got me. There's this lady so the Titanic, I think, has 2 sister ships, and this same lady worked on all of them, like she was changing sheets or whatever normal shit, and I think they all went down, and she survived all of the wrecks or something. I forgot. It's been like 2 years since I
Lady,
looked at
get
that.
out of the water.
They called her like Lucky
That's
Lucy or some shit.
She's the death one. If you
Yeah,
see her on the boat,
she's
you're like,
cursed.
Dude,
Yeah.
get me off of this fucking
They
thing.
should have called her the Harbinger. This thing's going down.
Lady, you need to move to the top of a mountain.
Yeah,
Some
dude, we gotta
way
throw
from
this
the
lady
ocean.
down a river, bro.
Maybe only
Fuck.
2 of them went down, and so
Yeah.
I forgot what it is, but it's a fun story.
You're just throwing her overboard. You're like, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, you guys even know about this lady?
I just saved everybody.
You're welcome. Then you crash anyway.
They're like, dude, this guy's unhinged.
Bro, I just watched a documentary about that sub that got crushed going to look at the Titanic.
I'm not watching that, dude.
Bro, it's fucking insane. Because there's like a bunch of missions where that sub went that deep, like several times.
Oh, really?
So they have
What?
interviews with people who were in that sub for some of those runs, and they're like, "Yeah, it's crackling the whole time." They're like, "It's making crazy sounds."
Pull it up.
and the guy just keeps being like, "No, it's fine. It's supposed to do that."
Oh,
Just
my
repressure and you're like
Yeah.
settling. Like, nah,
The sun-
you're gonna pull this up or I'm gonna choke you to
God. Yeah,
death.
I'm gonna kill you now.
But I would never be in a
It's
submarine.
international waters,
Yeah.
dude. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. I'm fuck.
I'm gonna
That's
say we
the
got deep and you
scariest shit in the
passed out
world.
and died.
Crazy, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, not being in control or being able to tell that guy to fucking that you want to get out of there.
Yeah, well,
Suck.
well, and it's also like this thing didn't have a hatch that opened. The entire front of it was bolted to the thing.
Oh, and they were
so
just
they would bolt
zip,
you
zip,
in,
zip, zip.
put you onto like the launching platform, bring you out to where you were going, launch you, then you would come in, get back on the platform, get back to shore, and then they would pull the fucking thing off.
Dude.
So you're in there for like an hour and a half before you get to into the water.
That,
Nope.
No fucking
Yeah.
way.
Take these bolts back out. I'm out.
That's crazy. No
Also,
way.
only 4 bolts holding it.
No, and this dickhead's like got a fucking GameCube remote. You're
What
like,
kind
no
of
way,
fucking
dude.
Legoland bullshit is this? I ain't going.
On one of the missions,
By the way, these missions.
shortly before, like 3 or 4 of them before it imploded completely, that front fell off. Like they were there, ready to go on the boat. They were about to put it in the water, and then that front just fell off.
Damn, dude.
And then they still went the next day.
That's so
It's
nuts.
I mean,
it feels like it feels fake.
the
It feels
kid,
like
the kid is the only one to feel bad about because everybody else was just a fucking idiot.
I mean,
yeah, for sure.
being a kid too, being like, you're like, this is fucked up.
And your dad's telling you, no, it'll be fine.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
your dad's
man.
telling you that you're
Then that split second where you know you're about to get Coke canned at the bottom of the ocean. Just
I don't think you even know.
Yeah, you might not. Although it's creaking a little more than
That's
normal.
what I'm saying.
And he
man.
goes,
that whole every creek is probably.
The problem is, it sounded
Terrifying.
like it was creaking most of the time.
Oh God.
By the way, the people who were on the boat that was like in communication with them
Yeah.
heard it happen.
oh.
Because
so they
there's
heard the crunch.
dude, there's like a delay. You can hear it in the video from the control room.
Damn.
So they show you the video of the control room, and then you just hear this like it sounds like a door slamming.
Oh my.
And then the lady, you see the lady go, "Hmm?" And then she calls the sub, and nobody answers.
You guys there? What's the fucking
housekeeping?
Yeah, what's the
Dude, it's crazy because they did the math on the amount of time it would take the sound to travel, and they were like, yes, we know exactly the moment that it imploded.
crunch?
At least it was quick though.
Oh yeah.
At least
Oh,
it just
yeah.
crunched.
Maybe the fastest possible way you could die.
I mean, I feel like you just wake up in Bartow like, what the fuck? I was in that shitty little submarine.
It's the human equivalent of, have you seen the underwater welding videos where those crabs swim by and there's like a hole in some pipe that a guy's welding on? He's got to cut like a little hole and the pressure is going so fast it just sucks this fucking crab. And it, like, they have one that's slowed down and it's like liquefying this crab to
Yeah.
get it through this tiny like little hole. It's crazy.
sucking it up. Super Mario Brothers.
He thinks he's just swimming by normal.
Yeah, I mean that's
Into another
I
dimension.
haven't seen that, but I want to.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah, it's like, and now you're reincarnated.
Yeah. Like, I was just a crab. I'm a bird now. This is
Now
cool.
you're a welder.
Yeah. Now you're that
Well,
welder.
they say, I mean, if you get woo-woo about it, they say that you know, how you die, you take that into your next life, like
Right.
in the Bartow. So it's like, that's not bad, because I feel like if you're getting eaten by a bear, you just go into Bartow just completely, like, just
a
terrified.
bear. Yeah, but you're a bear.
Oh, do you think you become the bear that eats
sure.
you? That would be the only...
I don't think. What is it? What are you saying? The
I don't know.
Bardo? The bar? The,
Yes, yeah. So they're saying,
it's
like,
the
when where
Vedic.
your soul goes.
Yeah.
I don't know what
before-
it means either. I'm
It's-
just rolling
it's-
with
It's
it.
like the
It's the
waiting
big
room
one.
of it's the waiting room for your soul when you go
So
to
either-
your next
It's like-
reincarnation.
You either choose another reincarnation or
Yes.
you have
Okay.
enlightened so much
But
that
they say that you
get
take
out of
the
the
energy
cycle.
that
yeah.
you died with into that realm. So I'm like, dude, if you got eaten alive by a bear, I feel like you just pop in, just
Well, it's probably like
Having a bad
somebody
time.
waking up from a crazy dream, and everyone's like, "You're fine, dude. Just relax. Have some
crabs
coffee.
like you're good, dude.
Yeah.
You're fine, dude. I just came here. I was swimming by. Now I'm here.
Some liquid of what used to be a crab. Just
Okay, so it's hippie purgatory.
Yeah, basically.
it's like Vedic, right? Is the Bardo?
I was about to say, yeah, I think
Vedic
it's
or-
Eastern.
It's very. I don't think it's Hindu. I don't remember.
I think it is. I don't know. That's why I didn't speak because I know somebody would be listening. Like, this dude's fucking.
I thought you
retarded.
said Bartow at first. And I was like, Bartow County? Is that where? Is that the? That's the respawn spot. I don't want to go there. And then I was like,
Holy shit, dude, I'm in Bartow County. What the fuck?
Damn, I must have
I
done.
responded in a fucking Chevrolet. This
I must
sucks.
have done something bad last time. I can't remember shit.
You just reincarnate as like a 35-year-old drunk at a quick trip.
I think
You're sitting at the slot machine of a gas station,
I assume.
smoking a cool. Like, what the?
I assume you're coming out of a floppy pussy in a dirty hospital, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The only hospital that smells like cigarette smoke.
We still let them do it here. I can't even remember what towns are in Bartow right now. We're just shitting on them. That rules.
It's all right, dude. There's a lot of terrible places.
They
in
can
Georgia.
take it. Yeah.
There's honestly most places are terrible.
Yeah, when you start traveling the
Most?
country, there is a lot of nothing around.
More are terrible than not.
Sometimes nothing is nice because you can
Yeah.
roll into a whole town where everything sucks, but there's just more stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I thought this was gonna be cool. And
Yeah,
it
like you could
sucks.
go to Austin, Texas.
There's just too many damn people now.
It's crazy.
But
And
I
they
haven't
do
been
have the
back.
most insane homeless people. They
never
travel.
been.
They travel in like packs.
I haven't been in like 5 years, and it was always for South by Southwest, so it always seemed insane.
Yeah.
So
And I hear South by Southwest are cleaning everything up for it.
Yeah, probably.
I went last year, and the 2 nights I went out between the Comedy Mothership and Creek in the Cave. There's like you can kind of go this way, or you could technically go this way. But if you go this way, you have to walk through like literally 30 homeless people just chilling on the street. It's like 5 blocks. So like people are like, what a
Sucks,
cool, awesome
dude.
area. And you're like, dude, it's 1 block over. And there's 30 homeless people just cracked the fuck
I
out.
was gonna say you said chilling, and if they were chilling, it seems like it'd be fine. I don't think they're chilling.
Here's the thing. They're chilling, but you can tell it's like if I tried to walk down that sidewalk through that group of people,
Excuse me, gentlemen.
something would happen.
Yeah, you just get close
Excuse
and
me. Excuse me.
excuse me, guys. Hey, how you doing? Oh, that stinks. Actually,
Like it feels like they would close in around you. You know
yeah,
what I
white
mean?
blood cell you a little bit. It's
Okay,
possible.
gentlemen. Hi.
It's possible, dude.
Somebody's definitely asking you for something.
Every time. I
You
mean,
got a lighter?
Which is all fine. It's when they stop asking is bad. That's it's like that's mine now, and you're like, ah, shit.
Damn it.
Oh, I just got a horrible Charlie horse on my calf. What'd you guys do? What is this sorcery?
black magic.
Black magic. Hell yeah. All right,
Is it too late for a story?
I can make it relatively
might be.
quick.
All right,
It's up to you.
we got it.
It's after 7.
It's 7 o'clock. What time's the thing? 8?
8.
We got it.
We got it.
Fine.
All right. It's so the same house that I blew up the fire with. This could have been the same party, but it's all a little bit of a blur. My homie
all a blur.
had a cool house that he rented in Roswell, and would always throw parties. So if there was something going on and we were going to a concert or whatever, or it might even be like an all night, all day, all night again because we're like cooking barbecue the night before, then hanging out all day.
That's
then
the
by
best.
so
Hell yeah.
it was one of the best party houses ever. And so we gather like a small crew in the middle of the day and start cooking a bunch of meat. And we're sitting on his back porch cooking the meat. Cowboy Grill and one of those like electric smokers is doing a butt, and we're doing all kinds of nonsense. And we're just sitting there hanging out, starting to have some beers. And this is probably 3 or 4 o'clock, and the party's supposed to be at like 10.
Yeah, drinking time.
Drinking time. So all the pros are drinking already, and then when the noobs show up, we can be like, yeah, baby, whatever.
Yeah.
So we out of nowhere hear this huge crack, and it is a medium-sized maple tree has broke off near the base and is coming sort of towards us.
Oh my
And it wasn't like, we just kind of ran a little bit.
Nobody's reaction.
Nah.
Nobody's
no.
reaction time was great. But we were just like,
Crack.
it was mostly like, oh shit. And we just kind of went to the corner where it clearly wasn't falling.
Oh shit, man.
It falls on his roof.
Oh, fuck.
And so it's like a Raiders of the Lost Ark ride at Disney World. Like if you wanted to climb up his house, you could do it, and you have to start at the yard. And I was like, oh man, what the hell? So we go inside to check it. Like, is this thing poking through?
Yeah.
Like, because we can
Did it
see
poke through?
from up top that there seems to be some sort of damage. We go and we start checking. There's a branch like fist width sticking through the bathroom.
Nice.
So we're like, oh shit, man, that sucks. We're supposed to have a party in like 3 or 4 hours, whatever. What are we gonna do? And he's like, I mean, there's nothing I can do right now. We're gonna fucking party.
Obviously.
I was like, yeah, my bad. I didn't even think about that. I guess we should just proceed as usual. So we just keep hanging out, keep getting kind of drunk.
Normal.
Yeah, toilet's functional, right?
People start, yeah, exactly.
Shitter's fine, right?
Which was awesome, dude.
You're
To go
just
in,
drunk as shit, holding onto a branch to
Dude.
stay standing.
and it's barely sticking through. But every time to just forget, and you're kind of drunk and have to pee, and you go in there and you're just laughing your ass off every time. The whole time you're peeing all over the seat. It's like, so that's fun. People start to show up, 7 o'clock. People are trickling, and these two guys that never really came to the party, but we knew one of the guys, and then he brought a guy that worked for him. So they do like, they've been doing AV all day, and this was the guy that we knew is probably the guy who was like first telling me conspiracy stories. And so he's like,
this house rules.
he's like,
Yeah.
this
conspiracies, smoke meat.
just drinking, having fun.
Fuck.
So he's like, hey, what's up, guys? And we're like, oh shit, dude, what's up? And he's like, this is my boy, Steven. And we were like, oh, cool. What's up, Steven? Nice to meet you. We never met the kid he brought. And this kid's probably 23, and we're all like 28. I'm like, yeah, cool, Steven. Grab a beer. It's going to be a long night. We're like trying to fuck with him, whatever. And so then the night proceeds sort of normally. And then one of our homies, it's starting to get dark now. Now it's like probably 10:30, and we've been just eating meat, talking shit, drinking drinks, pissing in the bathroom, looking at branches, normal stuff.
Having a good time.
Showing everybody multiple times because we've been drinking
yeah.
since 2 o'clock. So we'd be like, dude, did you see the fucking tree? And they're like, yeah, when I got here 2 hours ago.
I've already pissed 3 times.
I've seen it from both sides, dude. So then now it's dark as shit. And one of our homies pulls out a bong for some reason. And I didn't smoke much weed at that time, so my tolerance was dog shit.
Yeah.
But then he hits me with like, do you even know how to do this? And we're standing in a circle, and I was like, I like pushed on his sternum a little bit and was like, step back, dog, I'm working here. And I took the biggest hit of this bong that I could do. And
It's from the bong.
it's from the bong. And had to sit
Cypress
down
Hilled out.
for a second. I'm getting Cypress Hill under this cypress tree dude, that has fallen.
And sit for a second. That's
Old,
never good.
The old stranger Steven, he does it. He goes right after me, and I think for whatever reason followed my lead. And I was like, "Yo, I got to sit down. I think I'm about to be annoyingly laughing. I'm gonna sequester myself to a side of the porch for a second." And then it would, it was the highest I had been up until that point for sure. And so I have no idea how much time has gone by now, but I've started to get the gigs as though I've eaten a decent amount of mushrooms.
Okay.
And everything somebody said, I'm nearly nonverbal. I go nonverbal later and had to do like a 3-hour just like meditation, like a against my will meditation at one of those like metal.
Doing a breathing treatment.
It's like I'm just sitting at one of those tables that everyone has that's all like wrought iron and like
Yep.
that
Yep.
looks like a grill. And but I'm sitting there and I'm still having fun.
We all know the table.
I'm still
I know exactly.
yeah, but it's
Could
square.
you pick your arm up? Yeah, that pattern. Like, fuck, dude. Back
Oh,
your legs.
Shit, I was leaning too hard. So I'm sitting there and people are coming up and being like, "You good?" And I was like, "I'm high as shit, but I'm having fun. This is fun. I'm still
I
having
was
fun."
until you asked me that.
There's an hour and a half of this situation where I'm not having that much fun, and then I finally later on I summoned enough courage and leg strength to get up and go eat some pulled pork, and people were like,
That'll
"Yo,
pull you
shit,
out.
you're back." But before that, I'll tell this story Tarantino style. We'll rewind it back a little bit. Out of nowhere, we're all standing around talking shit, and I'm still like relatively normal but high. All of a sudden, huge thud, and I was like, everybody, you could see it on everybody's face, like, "Oh no, this tree just broke, and it fell down,
Another tree.
or some guy got."
Tower 2.
Yeah, it's Tower 4, dude. It's going down.
Tree 2 has hit the building.
Tree 2's hit the building. So,
Tree 7 is going down. Where the fuck is Dick Cheney?
this tree fell perfectly straight down.
This tree fell right into its own footprint. I'm not fucking buying it, dude.
Something's weird here.
The air is fine. You can breathe in the bark. The fuck is that guy?
It's all fine. Nobody panic. So, I think immediately that somebody got fucked up, got on the roof, and tripped and fell. Because that's how loud this thud sounded. So this porch is just like a reasonable size rectangle with all the benches built in around the side, so it looks sort of like Adirondack style, but built into the rail.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
And then
my
that
aunt had a
shit's
porch
the
like
best.
that. Yeah,
that's
that's
awesome.
Yeah.
So, but
Party house.
right where the sliding glass door that goes into the house is, on either side, there's cutouts for planters. So you could, like, if you wanted to plant 2 bushes and have them right involved in your porch, you could do that. He didn't do that. Just dirt and some
butts.
like butts and some shit. And so I'm just starting to be high enough to be paranoid. I'm like, oh no, somebody fell. We're so in trouble. We're all going to jail. And I was like, we're 28. I don't think anybody's going to jail.
I'm gonna be telling this story in court,
Like at a house. But then I'm like, what happened, dude? And I thought the new guy, Steven, had fallen off the roof. I was like, he's dead for sure. He's dead.
Steve's dead
He's gotta
for
be dead.
sure.
And then
Rest in peace, Steven.
finally, for whatever reason, nobody had the porch light on, just because it was way more chill to hang out out that
Yeah, the
dumbass
bugs
light.
keeps
Yeah,
the bugs out.
for sure. So somebody finally gets a flashlight on him, and he's fallen into the planter, and has somehow like positioned his leg stuck under the porch, and we're like, oh god damn, the new guy. We were like, yo Ben, come get your boy. He's fucked up.
He got bombed.
And so then we're all gathered around asking questions, and we're like yo,
And he's still stuck.
he's
You're
kind of
asking him
stuck, and
questions?
he's baked and has had a few beers, and so like he took too big of a bong hit too, and so it might as well have been me who fell into this hole, because I would have been like, man. And so we're all like, yo dude, say something if you're all right, but it's all like bah, 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 bah. And he goes, if you could all speak slowly and one at a time, that would be great. And so I start dying laughing. I was like, all right, we got to everybody chill. So then one girl is like full mom mode now. She's like, what's up? And we finally get him up out of the hole. And he's like, we're like, Steven, are you okay? We're like, set him down on one of the railings benches. Steven, are you all right? Say something, man. He goes, oh man, is this porch up to code? we called that guy Steven up to code. To this day, anytime I bring this story up, somebody's like, oh yeah, well, Steven up to code, dude.
OSHA Steve over there.
Dude. So after that, when it all settles down, I'm annoyingly laughing, retelling somebody who didn't hear all of the things he said, because I think it's the funniest thing of all time.
Pretty funny.
It's pretty awesome.
It's incredible. So then I'm retelling the story, but I'm going, he said, could you all speak slowly and one at a time? And they're like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, he said, this porch got the coat. And they were like, all right, dude, you got to relax. So I sit down. I fall into the not my choice meditation. Steven's gathering himself. He's leaning on this, like, there's also side tables.
Falling apart,
sort of,
dude. One bong just changed the course of the night.
He's writhing every once in a while. And then I'm like watching him because it was all I could. No, I'm watching him because it was all I could do. Sorry, I got into the act out. And then I look at him and I go, oh no. And he goes, and throws up so much throw up. And then it took me another hour and a half to get the courage to go eat pulled pork sandwiches.
After seeing something like that?
Well, and I was like, yeah, I was just trying to tell people. But for the last hour, people would just come by and they'd be like, you good? And I couldn't say anything.
Wolf.
I went, I was just doing this the whole time, dude. And then I was like, I understand. Like in my head, I was like, I get it now. It all makes sense.
Was there people partying underneath? Did it have like an underneath part too?
It was like there was a steep drop off from the house. So it would have just been like, where we were, it would have been like crawl space, and then there would have been enough room for a dog.
Been dead.
And then there was, if he fell off the roof and got fucked up, that would have been not good.
Because we had a buddy that threw up at a party that we didn't really know a lot of people, and he threw up on the porch, and then all you heard was just people underneath going, what the fuck? I was like, dude, we've got to get out of here.
We got to go.
I understand you're throwing up, but I need you to hit it, bud. Left, right, we got to go.
Yeah, dude.
Jump on my back if you got to.
Oh, my God.
These people are going to fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little throw up in your hair.
You just dumped a bucket of Bud Light on their head.
You got a bunch of Guinnesses in you for some reason because you always throw up on the guy that's at the party drinking 12 Guinness. And then he's like,
some guy with a cauliflower.
yeah,
Hurry.
somebody's getting fucked up tonight.
And when you're underneath the porch, you want to believe that it's somebody spilled a beer first.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
that was definitely somebody.
come
But
on,
then
guys.
the smell shows
The
up.
smell. You're like, now I have to go fight someone.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's horrific, Keegan. That's like a war crime you just added to the end.
I
of
didn't
this
even
story.
do it. That's why I didn't do it.
Drive-by
I just
war
watched
crime.
my buddy do it and was like, dude, we have got to get you out of here. Like, somebody's going to beat this shit out of you and I'm not going to help.
It's like the only rule to throwing up is like clear the landing.
Dude, he
You just got to go
he
to a
got out of this
space.
kitchen and that was like the most
That was
he
as
could
good
do.
as it gets.
Which I've never thrown up anywhere like that, but I've watched people throw up like bartending. You're just like, dude, there is a lead up. Like you
can see it.
Yeah.
ignored the signs. You
Yeah.
started getting a wet mouth, and we're like, no,
Yeah.
not me.
Hot spit, and they're going
At least, yeah.
That face though,
and like gulping every
like you're
once in a while.
chewing gum. You're like,
Yeah.
As soon as that hits, I go stand in front of the urinal like I'm gonna pee until it passes, or I run to the stall.
Toilet.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one
I
or
thought
the
you were
other.
about to yak in a urinal. Dude, that's
Oh,
that's a
the
criminal
worst.
act.
That is
Never
criminal.
done it.
Somebody did that to us the other week.
Ooh.
I was like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, get the hose.
Yeah, I'd rather clean 30 Zen pouches out of there than throw
Dude,
up.
people are getting out of hand. I was just in the Helium bathroom. There's fucking the second urinal's got 11 Zins and a paper
crazy.
towel on. What are you guys doing?
Why do people think that's okay?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
It's just
It
dumb.
doesn't make sense. There's trash cans right there.
Dumb
There's a toilet.
kids
There's
come out of seeing a comedy show kind of drunk and be like, I'm funny too. You're a dickhead, dude.
yeah. And you know what's crazy about Zens is when they spit them on the patio when they dry, they're
Stick.
like an
They're like
adhesive.
stick,
So you have
yeah.
to go over there with your foot. It's fucking
Kick them
the worst.
loose.
I was telling my uncle this, but at the brewery, we had somebody. We could be done, but we had somebody had to clean up jizz off the fucking urinal.
Oh.
And it was a wedding, and I was like, what? I was like, was somebody jerking off? She was like, no, it was a primarily gay wedding. And I was like,
Oh.
somebody got a fucking. I mean, that's crazy. But hey, that's partying because it's a nice place at Glover upstairs. It's a nice bathroom to get jerked off in. I was like, that's a pretty classy hand job.
Catch a hand.
You're
in
both in suits.
But also-
that's pretty.
To not go all the way into a stall is a choice.
Crazy.
To do it right on the urinal,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They were out of control.
these guys were having fun.
Yeah, they were having a
You
party.
love to see guys having fun.
just dudes having a good time.
Can't guys have fun anymore, dude?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like at work, everybody thought like I was gonna be like, "That's disgusting." I was like, "Dudes can't have fun." What are y'all saying? It's just hanging out with your homies, bro, at a wedding. You're all jived up about true love. I need a release, bro.
Gotta pop. Too much dancing. Dancing leads to popping, dude. Footloose mayor was right.
Somebody just comes up behind you.
Footloose mayor was right. that should be a T-shirt.
I stand with the footloose man.
I don't dance.
Yeah,
I
it
stand
starts
with the
with the
footloose
electric slide.
mayor. Ends with cum on the urinal.
Yeah, it's with the cummy urinal. It's a slippery slope.
It's
Literally.
it's a sticky slope.
Yeah, I was like bummed. I was like, dude, that sucks. You had to clean that up.
Yeah.
That's a tough cleaning.
Because also, like, I mean, gay wedding didn't go into the stall. It kind of feels like maybe that's just the one that missed.
True.
Like,
True. It might have been multiple loads all
like
over
we
the
might be
bathroom.
talking like you might. Like you might have been in like an SVU level amount of jizz happening.
That was
right
just the
before-
cum you guys saw.
Yeah.
Turn a black light in there. It's just glowing. You're like, Jesus Christ. Oh man, yeah. Sounds like a fun wedding though.
It was a fun wedding. It was such a fun wedding that there was evidence of how fun it was.
Either that or it was a
DNA.
crime scene.
Yeah, it could've been.
This was a crime of passion at this urinal.
That really is. There's no in between on stray cum. It's either a crime or the remnants of a great time.
Yeah, dude. Because if you're a straight guy jerking off anywhere you're not supposed to, you have to clean up like Dexter.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude! If you can't
You gotta
control
lay down the toilet paper cover.
Oh my god,
Lobster
dude! You're in a
meat.
bad place, bro. If you're in the bathroom at a wedding
At a
fapping,
wedding.
you're
Yeah.
out of control.
This could have been us. You
You've
said you
lost
loved me.
control of your life, dude.
I also like how you said it was primarily a gay wedding. Like they weren't keeping straight people out.
Yeah.
It was like, no, they're allowed. They're just most of our friends and family are all gay. Like what?
Yeah. That's just what was explained
It's
to
just
me.
that's how they said it to me.
Okay.
I'm just a messenger, dude. Happy Pride.
Yeah, that is happy pride. Getting to come in a urinal. I'm sure people were probably in the stall doing blow.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, actually. Like, yo, let me in there. What's up, dude?
What up?
Just about to wrap up
Yeah, I was about to say we're about
We
to wrap
have
up.
been going for so long.
so long.
Dude, that's what I heard about you.
Stamming on
That's what
these
the word on the
guys.
street is.
Uncomfortably long.
Unreasonably long.
It shouldn't be this long, actually. And the eye contact is crazy.
Yeah, it
Unreasonably long with creepy eye contact.
The chafing's incredible.
All right, we did it.
We did it!